Sorry everybody, I'm having a little bit of trouble with this Canvas video recording thing. So, this is going to be in 2 videos this week, I guess. So, I want to continue on with what I was saying about plot. So, the next element that I want to talk about is conflict, and that's what drives the plot, really, according to Aristotle. And there are 2 types of conflict. The first is internal, and we can see that in stories about a character who struggles with something that's not based on outside forces. So there isn't really a defined protagonist. All of the conflict comes from within, or an external conflict, which happens in things about war, most traditional plot lines where there's some kind of protagonist to the antagonist. And then point of view, which is important for the discussion this week. So the discussion this week not only asks you to explore the don'ts that are in the Jerome Stern essay, but also to find a passage from one of the assigned stories and then rewrite it from a different point of view. So, for instance, St. Marie is in first person, and you might change that to third person, which then you might take either the limited or omniscient point of view to kind of see inside the mind of Sister Leopolda, or perhaps you're going to rewrite the scene at the end. I won't spoil it for you if you've not read it yet, from the point of view of another nun. So think about that, and then the other story is told in a very kind of distant third person. So maybe you'll write that as first person from the point of view of either the wife or the husband, or it's up to you. Just I want to make sure that you spend a lot of time thinking about why writers choose certain points of view, and what might change about the story and about the facts given if we change the point of view, because this will prepare you to start thinking about that with your own narration and your own characterization within your own writing. And the last element I want to talk about, and there are a lot of key terms on your handout that have to do with this, is the element of language. And last week you read the article from Burroway on imagery, and language is such an important element of fiction, and one that sometimes people don't think about as they're thinking about plot and characterization and things like that. But those other terms like metaphor, symbol, simile, the terms from the handout, are important because, as Burroway says, the trick is that if you write in words that evoke the senses, if your language is full of things that can be seen, heard, smelled, tasted, and touched, you can create a world that your reader can enter. So to get you thinking more about language, your assignment this week is to find 5 of the terms in the stories that were assigned this week and kind of write those out. So this will get you thinking about the way that other writers are using imagery, because I think, as I mentioned before, that in order to be good writers, we must be good readers. So this week lays the foundation of what fiction is. It asks you to think more deeply about the elements of fiction, and it gets you to start to write and think about your own use of point of view. So I hope you have a great week. Martin Luther King Day is on Monday, but that won't really affect our week because our first assignment's due on Wednesday. So enjoy your small break that you have, and remember, I'm always here, an email away if you have any questions. Thanks. Sorry this is in 2 videos this week. I'll try to figure this out for next week. Yeah, have a good week.